Luis, balita ko magaling ka sa art. Starting tomorrow, ikaw na ang makeup artist sa Patay. What is Filipino art? What is Filipino art? Philippine art is Western art. Why? Because that's what we are doing. So I went back to nature. That's why I started making buting things sa nature. And I discovered we have a lot. There's a lot to do without following or being influenced by Western art. So yun ang ginawa ko. I was always exposed to nature because my lolo have a big farm in Surigao del Norte. So I got acquainted with the mountain, the planting and harvesting rice, the swampland, the river, the sea. So I am very close to nature. Ang tawag nga nila sa akin, Mother Nature Son. Kasi very close talaga ako sa nature because of my upbringing. My mother was Pilisa Inano. My mother was very good in embroidery. My father was very good in carpentry. Tragically, he was the one who refuses to back me up to be an artist. So that's the tragedy of my life. After graduation, my mother wanted me to study medical school. My father wanted me to be like him, to study in Siliman as study economics, because he wanted me to be like him. I was his favorite. I was the junior also. And I told him I want to be an artist because during the time from elementary, they are proud of me. Oh, yung anak namin ang galing sa art. But when it comes to deciding if they will allow me to study art, my father, no. Until my father proposes a solution. He said, work for me for 1 year. If after 1 year you still want to be an artist, bahala ka na sa buhay mo, I will not give you a single centavo. So for 1 year, actually 10 months only, I worked for him in his still an restaurant business in Surigao City. So before the year was over, I left him. The most tragic thing, the most saddest thing that ever happened to me was when I left my father. Kasi hindi naman ako lumayas na hindi nila alam. At the next time kami nagkita, nasa kabaong na siya. So, I was 17 years old. I found work as a janitor in a funeral parlor. So I was there. It was owned by a Chinese guy. So I was accepted as janitor. One day, the owner came and called me to his office and he said, Luis, balita ko, magaling ka sa art. Sabi ko, pahambol-hambol naman konti po. So, dumukot siya sa wallet niya. Ang dami niyang pera. Sabi niya, bumili ka ng mga art materials mo. So, buy the best one. I was feeling like, wow, I found my Medici. You know, this will be my gateway to study fine art. While I was in ecstasy, ang sabi niya, starting tomorrow, ikaw na ang makeup artist sa Patay. So, wow, parang nag-collapse yung universe ko. So, I became the makeup artist. I was the best in Cebu. I'm proud of that, you know. I went to all funeraria, tinitingnan ko yung trabaho nila. I'm better than that. It took me 5 years bago nakapasok sa college from graduating from high school. Sinulatan ko si Romulo. I read an article about Romulo in Reader's Digest. May mga painting siya. He's a Sunday painter. Sinulatan ko siya. Sabi ko, Sir, I can paint better than you. After a week time, dumating yung sulat niya. Please come to UP. I'll give you a scholarship. Then I will assign you to a very well-known artist, patron sa art. I think he was talking about Porita Calao Ledesma. My first big work ay yung edo. I called it Balag. In fact, when CCP made a musical of my life, they called it Balag at Angud. Angud is another work of mine. Balag, ginamit ko yon ay sa in front ng Sampaguita Dorm, ginamit ko yung mga indigenous material na nakikita ko lang sa paligid, gumawa ko ng structure, and I declared it as freedom space. So everybody can hang anything. So may mga love letters, may mga atake kay Marcos, mayroong nagdidepende kay Marcos, mga gano'n. So it is the first time na ang artwork is done outside the confine of the white walls of a gallery. First artwork that uses Filipino tradition like bayanihan. I use bayanihan because kanya-kanya tulong-tulong sila sa akin. In 2020, 50 years later, UP Diliman celebrated my work. Nagkaroon sila ng festival to celebrate my first artwork. And I feel proud of that they took notice of what I have done. Angud is a very significant artwork in a sense that it addresses directly the concern of illegal logging. So I discovered this in Real because I always go to Real. I have a friend, Real, town of Real. So I discovered that. So sabi ko gagawin kong installations. I was able to amaze more than 10,000 of the Angud. And I installed it in front of CCP. It is the second installation of mine that is more than 1 hectare big. My title is A Forest Once, Angud, A Forest One, because it represents all those illegally cut trees na malapit lang sa Manila. It's one of my favorite artwork. When I was given by CCP, by Ray Albano, the 13 Artist Award, I refused the award. Ang nangyari, si Ray Albano offered me, kasi ayaw ko nga ng 13 Artist Award, sabi niya, mag-show ka na lang mag-one-man show ka na lang sa small gallery. So ginawa ko yung wood thing. Nasyak lahat ng mga tao kasi ano ba yun? So yung para mga gumagapang na mga uod. My purpose there is not just to introduce the mystery of nature. If you spend inside the forest for this, you will discover a lot of things na na-discover ko. So ngayon, napansin ng Paris Binali yun, Biennial. So in-invite ako. So the following year, I went to Paris. Nagdala ako ng 700 of that wood thing. I think it's important because wood thing practically opened the era of contemporary art ng Pilipinas. Kasi during that time, it's all just modern, postmodern. Even now, there's very few artists who is doing contemporary work. Mostly modern artwork, postmodern. But wood thing is made out of banana stalk, and inside it is banana leaves all dried up. The spines is from the kapok tree. When the kapok tree pod is ripe, it will splintered into different parts. So yun yung kapok. My main purpose of the wood thing inside the gallery is to make a different environment from what you experience outside. When you enter the small gallery of CCP, you will forget what is outside because you are transported, whether you like it or not, you will be transported into a different environment and you have no defenses but to accept it. Oh, nandito ko, ano ba ito? Malabayabas is the second hardest wood sa Pilipinas. It's next to the iron tree. I was given a grant for Predicom, who is in charge of forest product, ang mandate nila. Binigyan nila ako ng grant, binigyan nila ako ng kahoy na malabayas. Nagulat ako, ang bigat-bigat, ang ganda-ganda, parang chocolate. So ginawa ko yung installation ko doon sa Lunita, doon sa Calabao, in front of Rizal Monument. Doon ko ginawa. Walang taong pumansin, but I was very happy. Kasi nakagawa ko ng laki-laki ng installation. I covered everything with my work. Nang nalaman ng sponsor ko na hindi sila bibinta, hindi abandon me in Lunita, nag-iisa ko. It was meant to as a commentary against Marcos regime. Bagong binhi, and in a sense, it changes the culture of art competition in the country. Because bagong binhi, after many decades of submitting artworks made of wood, bakal, marble, etc., I submitted a work made of bamboo, made of twigs na walang pumapansin at it won the Grand Award. Bantayog ng Wika is national competition sponsored by the Commission ng Wikang Filipino, Andel R. Mario during the time. He was the chairman. So the purpose is to make Bantayog to places that have their own language. our country have 132 languages and more than 200 dialects. So their plan is to put up a marker in every place na may sariling language. I signed a contract to make 132 Bantayog ng Wika. And I'm already 82, so I cannot finish it because I can only finish 5 works every year. So far I have made mga 15. Yeah, actually, it started when the national scientist Javier, UP president, formerly UP president. Sabi niya sa akin minsan, Junyee, gawa ka ng sculpture garden. I was talking with him with Chancellor Velasco during the time. Ang sabi ni Chancellor Velasco, I'll give you a land grant. So binigay niya sa as a land grant para maka-start ako ng sculpture. Nakita ko ang laki-laki ko kung paano ko ito mapuno. It took 12 years to finish this thing because of the lack of money. Not the lack of idea, but money. Until Senator Ligarda came around and sabi niya, tutulungan kita. I always explore other things na close sa pagka-Filipino. Itong Soot, na-inspired ko sa baryo. Sa mga baryo kasi, yung kitchen nilang mga kawayan, mga gano'n. Palaging puno ng Soot. Sabi ko minsan, gano'n nakatagal yun? Hindi pa ako sinilang, andyan na yung Soot na yun. So, it will last. Sabi ko, it will last. So, ang ginawa ko, gumawa ko ng Soot, pero kinubiran ko kasi ang Soot, ganonin mo lang, mawawala kasi nga very fragile yon. I am using non-reflected glass. Although it's more expensive, but it protects the artwork or it's more enjoyable to the viewer. So, yung Soot work ko came from my innate longing or my interest of what we have, not what is important. I'm a patriot. I'm not a nationalist, I'm a patriot. Nationalists follow certain dogma like democracy, communism, and they kill for it. A patriot will die for it, for what he believes. I love this country. I never have the idea of leaving this country. When I was third year, I was offered by Disney. Disney was a big thing. Offered me the cartoonist sa Wala pang mga computer at cellphone on. I refused because what will I do there in America to be a second-class citizen? Magdo-drawing lang ako, maglagay-lagay ng litra. And there's so many things in my mind. I want to do it. So if I want to be remembered, I want to be remembered as a patriot because I love this country. And I'm doing artwork that is from this country. And I want my work not only to influence. I never thought of people to be influenced by my work. I tried to do my work close to our culture, which became my first environmental work. So when I started environmental work, it is directly connected to my love for the country. A nationalist will kill for their country, a patriot will die for their country. I think I'm more creative now than when I was younger. Parang puputok na yung ulo ko sa dami kong gustong gagawin na hindi pa ginawa ng ibang artist. But I'm running out of time. I will be doing the first installation garden in Diliman, as big as this. Wala pang installation garden. So I started installation, I'll do the first installation garden. So I'm running out of time actually. Pero sana magawa ko yung kahit kalahati man lang. Don't be tempted of copying other artists' work because they are popular, but look deep into yourself and you will find there's a lot of things there that can help you.